If you're visiting Japan, things could feel a little bit overwhelming, especially if you're visiting Japan for the first time or don't speak Japanese as well. But with just a few simple apps, your trip can become much easier. In this video, I'll show you 5 useful apps that are quite easy to use even for first-time visitors, plus a few helpful tips that you can use along the way. And be sure to watch till the end because I also have some very big important tip to share with these apps for you as well. The first we're getting into is Google Maps. This is probably the most important app you will need to have in Japan. You can use it for trains, walking directions, even shops and restaurants, and possibly even navigating inside large stations. It shows train times quite accurately, including transfers and platform information. I would just be cautious as to the times of some of the shops, as they may not be updated or the shops may be closed or maybe not even open anymore. And I've noticed this just a very few handful times. And it doesn't really matter if you were in the countryside or even say in the middle of Tokyo. I've noticed it could be either way. But paying attention to the train line and platform number are not just the same. And in large stations, there can be multiple trains leaving at the same time. And so trying to get used to how you need to navigate might be just a little bit important, especially, say, being in the big cities. And when you're using the trains in Japan, they usually tend to stop around midnight. So it's important to check to make sure you don't miss the last train, and which can make getting home to the place you're staying much more difficult. And also another thing is even buses tend to stop even sooner, roughly around 10 o'clock. It depends on the companies and the locations and everything. So it's something to keep in mind when you are planning your route. The next app is getting into is Navitime Japan Travel. And I was actually quite impressed by this app. It's a new app to me. I was more used to the regular Japanese Navitime app, but this one's Japan Travel specifically for visitors to Japan. It helps you plan your train routes as well, but especially when you're traveling between cities, it can be used maybe along with Google Maps to double check routes or things like that. Or maybe you might prefer one or the other. It's probably good to check both of them out. And it has some offline features which seem quite useful. And it also has a lot of things to introduce to visitors to the country, like workshops and other touristy things that you can do all on this one app, which just seems quite interesting. And hopefully you're able to find some good deals as well too. So maybe give it a try. The next app is obviously probably obvious, is Google Translate. And especially when you're trying to see signs and menus, and a lot of them are still in Japanese, you can use the camera feature tool to instantly translate the text in front of you, which is useful for restaurants and shops, or even trying to make sure what staff is trying to say to you or you're trying to convey to them, whether speaking or reading something, is quite useful. Just making sure when you are trying to convey something to someone, try to make your sentences clear and simple as possible so that they can be conveyed more clearly and accurately so that the app doesn't get confused and say gets lost in translation. Another one that I found which was quite interesting of the next app is Payke or Payke. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but spelled Payke. Can scan products and show you information of it in English. And especially if you have allergies or you need to avoid certain foods or additives, this is really good. Or say if you needed to get some medicine from the drugstore or chemist, and you can check to make sure how you need to be taking it as well. And they also provide it here. So even I tested it out, even Chinese medicine. There you go. It shows you how you can actually use this medicine, what's in it, what you expect it to do for you as well. And it has apparently some other features in this app as well too, especially aimed for visitors to Japan. But of course, you'll still need the Google Translation app for menus and other things, nothing product. And the final app is an app I still continuously use to this day, and it is a Japanese dictionary called Imiwa. Imi means meaning in Japanese, and wa is something roughly around meaning is or as for. So the meaning is or as for the meaning is what this app means. And I use great for looking up words or trying to find basic phrases. I 100% trust it completely. There are maybe some deep conversational words and phrases that may be a little bit out of line, especially if you're someone that maybe has more Japanese speaking experience. But it is still an app that is dependable, and you can make lists and you can maybe check it in a couple other languages if you prefer, if hopefully it has it. But I still really think this is a good app, since I said as well too, I still use it myself. So definitely good, especially if you want to try to say things to people and you just want to get a word or things like that as well. Especially if you're learning Japanese, I totally recommend it. And now moving on to a few honorable mentions of extra apps that are some good ones to consider. And that would be NHK World, which is useful for news, weather, and important updates in English whilst you're in Japan. And this might be really good, especially say Japan is a natural disaster prone country. So if you really need information quickly in English, I have a feeling that they'll probably provide it rather quickly. They even have television programs in English as well too. They have other apps provided in English as well, not just specifically this one, even for learning Japanese, but you have to kind of check it on their website to access that one. Another app is if you really want to make friends in Japan and being able to maybe even live in Japan, is using Line. This is the way of basically WhatsApp or like Viber and things like that. This one is what Japanese people depend on in Japan. And it's a great way to stay in touch with people you meet and things like that. And has also stickers for free or some ones you can buy. And it might be limited on Japan or in other countries. So when you're in Japan, get those free ones as quickly as possible. Another one might be interesting is Uber Eats. You could just order some things, food, especially if you're not feeling good or you just want to rest. And you could try out some other Japanese food still at your place that you're staying, which might be a good idea. Another one, if you're possibly able to do this, I'm not sure, is using Suica. Suica is the Japanese major transportation card. It's basically for pay for trains and buses, but also you can use it for purchases. You can use this for convenience stores and a number of shops. You can also even use it at vending machines, a number of vending machines that also have the pay to tap feature on them. It does cost just 500 yen to access it, to start it up, but that's basically it. And if you stop it, usually you're supposed to get that 500 yen back. I just don't know how to use it on the app. I haven't attempted that, so you'll probably have to check that. And one more very big important tip, like I said in the beginning of this video that I have for you, and is to possibly download these apps ahead of time and practice running through them well before your trip so that you aren't struggling to get them to work, and make sure the internet is connected properly with them and to see if they actually work for you or not. And that's definitely an important thing to consider. So with these just few apps, hopefully traveling in Japan will become much more simpler. And if you know some apps or other tips that would seem very useful for others, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely include it in another future video because I'm sure apps need to be updated and I would love to update this as well. So, 最後まで見てくれてありがとうございました。また次回の動画で会いましょう。Thanks for watching till the end, and we'll see you in the next video.